in terms of getting involved with athletics, it's been part of my life just growing up. Grew up on a farm. You know, I wasn't your typical farm kid that would be out in the fields plowing and stuff. I was always participating in athletics. It was football in the fall, basketball in the winter, track in the spring, and baseball in the summer. So my dad didn't have a whole lot of help from me during the days and things like that. But it's always been a big part of my life. And growing up, I just loved the competition, loved being around teammates, and it just felt right. That's what I wanted to do when I got out of high school. Went to school at the University of Nebraska, got a degree in health education, where I started out working at the YMCA in Lincoln, and then I started doing some helping out teaching in a behavioral disorders school, and I got the bug that I wanted to teach. So we moved to Minot, my wife and I went back to school, got my teaching certificate so I could teach for Minot State, and started teaching and coaching in Minot, and everything that has always been revolved around, my education degree is in physical education, so athletics. I started coaching football while I was at Minot State, helping out with the college team there. And so like I said, everything has been revolved around sports, and that can be a good thing and a bad thing, but it definitely is my passion. Well, it's kind of funny, because when I went back to school at Minot State, we had to do a set up goals for ourselves, a 5-year, 10-year plan. And my 10-year plan when I first went back to Minot State to go to school was to be an athletic director. And it just happened that about that time, that 10-year time period, was when Shanley High School and the network was looking for an athletic director. And it really wasn't on my radar at the time, because I was coaching college football, which I always wanted to do, loved doing that. But then out of the blue, I get a call from a parent from the network saying, "Hey, I understand that I got your name from Kevin Feeney, said that you would be somebody that might be good to come down and coach our football team," because they were looking for a football coach at the same time. I said, "Well, I appreciate the call. It's something I'll think about." Then I went down to Orlando, Florida for the National Baseball Coaches Convention, because I was also the head baseball coach at Minot State, and sitting next to a gentleman on the plane, and we got to talking, and it happened to be Kyle Edgerton's brother, who's former superintendent. So, didn't think too much of that. Down in Orlando, flying back, I'm sitting next to this young lady, and we started talking, and she was from Fargo as well, and it was Kevin Feeney's wife. So I'm like, wow, there two signs in one trip like that really perked my radar up, and maybe this is where I need to go. And when I got back from Orlando, got a call from the same gentleman again, asking if I'd consider. And after the two run-ins that I had on my trip, I decided that, this is meant to be for me to at least apply and see what happens. And so that's kind of how it led me to get down here. I knew about Shanley from the time that I lived in North Dakota, about having strong football programs and being a private school, because the majority of the schools that I've taught have all been private schools. I taught at a Lutheran school in Minot, then I taught at Bishop Bryan High School in Minot, and then I went to the college. And something always brings me back to wanting to work for a church-driven school. I mean, it's just the private school. I mean, there's so many different things that are advantages to doing that. And so applied for the job, got the interview, feel very blessed that I was offered the job, and 8 years later, still here. Well, it's twofold. One, first and foremost, it's the faith component, that we're able to talk about God and pray, and that's a huge part of working at a school like this. And secondly, it's the parents, and not the parents, but it's the community, because when the parents are invested in the school, they're paying tuition, and so when you need help or you need somebody to step up and help you with something, the parents are right there to help. I mean, those two things really make working at a private school very beneficial. I mean, like I said, it's such a neat, cohesive family, and it's just awesome. Okay. as I was saying, when I started researching for this position, one of the things I looked at with our activities and the athletics here at Shanley is the tradition of excellence, and that's when coming in, first and foremost, I just want to make sure we continued that, and along the way, see if there's ways that we can improve and to take our athletics and our activities to the next level. And I feel very strongly that we've definitely continued the tradition of excellence in terms of upgrades around within our programs. Just the facilities that we've been able to add since I've been here with the Sit-Sit-Chi Stadium, and having our own home field for football and soccer, and branched out to provide services to the community. And even last year we used the field to play softball games on. So just having that facility has been, probably the biggest stride that has taken place since I've been here. It's nice for the kids to have a place to call home. Instead of traveling to Johnson Park for soccer or going over to Concordia for football. I mean, those community-based facilities, they were awesome in helping us out at the time, but it's nice to have our own facility, and it's been great for our kids. I think the other each year we want to develop with our coaches. We try to have coaches in services every year. We do have coaches in services every year to talk about new things that might be trending in activities, and to keep us up to date on those things. So a lot of it is maintaining, but when we get things like the field and things, those are the big areas that we've really made strides in. Well, I think continued growth of our facilities. The locker room situation we have right now is the locker rooms, we make them work. Locker rooms are set up more for physical education classes, not for athletics. We also need areas for our activities, like for our forensics program. We need an area that they can call maybe their home, with computers and areas where they can practice their speeches, their debates, and have equipment to tape them so they can go back and watch themselves. So those areas would be areas that I would seek to have us continue to get better in, just more facility type things. The locker room situation, to have a varsity type locker room or an athletic type locker room that walks right out onto the field, so it's maybe a little things, but so teams can come in at halftime when it's cold in North Dakota to have a place to go. Same thing with soccer. I mean, it'd be nice to have them be able to come in instead of having to stay out on the field during the games. So just things like that we need to continue to grow on. Our drama program here is outstanding, and it's just each year we put on a new production. I'm thinking, well, I don't know if they can top what they did the year before, but every year they surprise me. They come up with something new, something better, and they're doing it with limited facilities in terms of we don't have a shop to build our scenes in. We get people come in, they build it on the stage. So I mean, things like that are things that we need to take all of our activities to the next level. Well, one of the things that I talk about in our parent meetings every year is, before I got here, they had developed the mission of the network in terms of teaching the total person, and that mission fits right into what I believe our athletics and activities should be. We're teaching the total person yet. We talk, you're teaching the body, mind, and spirit. Athletics and activities are just a microcosm of life. You have your ups and downs, you have your pitfalls, you have your successes. Things you may not have a good day. It's no different than, when I come to work, some days are not my greatest days, but you learn that through your participating in activities and athletics. And one thing that we've really stressed over the last couple of years with all of our coaches is educational based athletics or activities. Yeah, you're a football coach, your classroom just happens to be on the football field, not in a building where you're teaching history or you're teaching football, but you're part of that teaching is teaching life skills that go with it. And those are the things that I feel are very important for our activities, is teaching those type of things. Yet this year we talked about being a transformational coach, coaching from the inside out. We don't want the coaches just to be there to coach that kid how to shoot a jump shot or play defense in basketball. We want them to teach them about life, you know, and use athletics activities as a tool to teach that. So that it's really important that we stay focused on our mission that we have set up for the network, because it works for our activities in athletics. Well, first and foremost, we talked about earlier was being able to have a faith component, and that's something that when I have my meetings with our coaches, that, you know, that's important to me and to our school, that we have a faith component as part of our athletics activities. Whether it's saying a prayer before practice, after practice, having Father Charles come in and say a prayer before a game. It's not uncommon now for the athletes or the people involved with, say, forensics or drama, to ask Father Charles, can we have Mass before this game? They're the ones requesting it. To me, we're heading in the right direction when our kids are doing that. You know, it's not the kids or the coach, it's not the coaches or the parents or administration saying you need to have Mass. They're the ones that are bringing it up. So to me, that's success. We're headed in the right direction. So the faith part of it is a big thing. And again, I go back to it being a community, the family, the parents, you know, their support that they give for all of our activities and our athletics. They're helping out, taking tickets at games. They're providing pre-game meals for the kids. You know, you come on the week before the musical. You have parents out here, they have tech meals where they're feeding the kids meal because they're practicing from 4 to 9 o'clock at night. I mean, so it's just those things that I feel that are unique. Now, are the other schools doing that? Probably, you know, but I just feel with the commitment of our families and our parents to the network, it trickles down to the activities and the athletics, and as well as into all the academics too. So those two things I feel are very things that do set us apart. Initially, I think no, I think it was for all the schools, because you know, we talked about you know, taking care of the middle school athletics, the elementary athletics. So I mean, it was so basically, yeah, I'm probably noted more for being the activities director at Shanley High School, but I'm the activities director for St. Paul John II network. So yeah, it would be for the entire school. And to kind of go off what you're saying there is that, you know, you see that commitment from the parents all the way down in the elementary schools. You know, and I guess you go back to that question you asked about the uniqueness of our program. The amount of parent involvement in terms of travel team athletics is unbelievable. I mean, one of the questions I think that we talked about is, why are we so successful with being a smaller school? And that's why, because we have parents who are taking their kids, putting them on teams, playing year round. Now, is that always a good thing? No, because the kids need to participate. I want kids to participate in a multiple of things, and that's the nice thing about being in a small school. They can do drama, they can do athletics, they can do forensics. I mean, so we want well-rounded kids. So it's not just about basketball or football. But I think part of the reason that we are successful is because we have parents that have brought these kids up playing the different sports, you know, encouraging them to participate, and so by the time, and then they turn them over to our middle school coaches and our high school coaches, and our kids have had a lot of playing time and a lot of experience. And so, you know, there are other schools that I don't think that they have the parent involvement or people who are taking the time to put their kids in travel teams, and I think that makes a huge difference. And that's part of the reason we are successful and being one of the smaller schools in our class size in North Dakota. You know, we're talking about, you know, the success of our program, you know, and I'm talking about how, based on the travel teams and things that we have, you know, another part of the reason for our success is that since I've been here in the 8 years, you know, we've had our coaches that have come and gone, but I feel we've done a good job of keeping coaches in place. and having that consistent coaching from year to year to year, and that makes a big difference. You know, when you have school, there's some schools that they change coaches every year, every 2 years, but we've been very fortunate to be able to keep the coaches around. When we get a coach that is a good coach, we want to try to keep them around, and that's really important. And and it kind of goes back to the question you asked earlier about in terms of what strides can we make. You know, we've made some strides in terms of our coaches and what we can pay them. We've done huge strides in what we can pay our teachers. You know, we know that's a goal and emphasis of the network as well. And so, I mean, we've done some things and put some things in place that I feel the coaches have greatly appreciated this year to help let them know that they are appreciated. You know, when you coach, you don't always coach for the money, and that's part of the other reason that I always found myself coming back to a private school, because they're, you know, yeah, I need to earn a living, support my family, but there's more to it than just that when you're here at a school like Shanley. Well, you know, I guess I take this from two different perspectives. As an AD, you know, we definitely want them to say that that our kids, our students, are representing their school, themselves, and teammates with high standards. You know, I want that to show on their play on the court, the field, or when they're debating. You know, that they have a lot of character. They play with character, and then as a coach, you know, what I always was, I want them to do things the right way. You know, that means giving 100% all the time. Don't quit. No matter what the score is, you know, that we're giving it everything we've got, and when we leave that court or field or whatever, that, you know what, that Shanley did everything they could to possibly win that game, and it just wasn't their day. I mean, it's just doing things the right way, and just representing our school community, their parents, their teammates, and even the community of Fargo. I think it's important that when they know that Shanley's in Fargo, that we represent the community in the area with the utmost respect. Well, you know, first thing everybody thinks about failure, you lost. Okay, yeah, you know what, the score may not be on your favor on some days, but is it truly a loss? What did you take from that game? You know, did you learn anything from that game that is going to help make you a better player, a better person for the next time that you step on that court? So yeah, failures could be considered, you know, losses can be considered failure, but it all depends on how you take that and learn from it. Success. I was very fortunate to be able to play football at Nebraska when Coach Osborne was there. Never once in his pregame talks did he say, we have to win this game. He always talked about, these are the things that we need to do to be successful. Success will take care of itself. And that's been my philosophy ever since I heard him give his first pregame talk. You know, it's a process. These are the things you need to do to be successful. You know, for me, success is when I see 90% of our athletic and activities teams receive the Team Scholar Award from the High School Activities Association as having a 3.2 GPA or higher as a team. That's success. I see a success as your school gets picked to lead the March for Life parade. That's success. You know, so I mean, it's not all about wins and losses. It's about the process of how to get to that end result. And you know, when I see kids walk out here and graduate and they become better men and women because they went to school here at Shanley, they played activities at Shanley, that's success. You know, again, we go back to the faith component. I hope when they leave here that they've taken their Catholic education and have grown closer to in their faith, and that they use that faith to propel them into whatever their next profession is going to be while they're in college, while they're learning. You know, but when they leave our athletic programs or activity programs, I really want them to feel like they've grown because of the programs as a person, not just as an athlete or somebody who is in forensics and debates. I want them to have grown as a person. and learn that not everything is going to be perfect, that there's going to be ups and downs, that they're going to be able to work their way through any situation because they've been a part of our program. Not just the athletics and activities, but also the whole component, you know, with the service and the faith. So, you know, I really hope that they feel that they're ready to move on and have learned from all their experiences here.
What has been Randy Nelson's greatest impact here at the schools?
Not screw it up.
Not screw it up.
Again, I go back to just, a lot of it's about continuing the tradition of excellence. You know, just making sure that we continue to do the things the right way. Try to stay, I hate to use the word cliche, cutting edge, but make sure that we keep up to date with things that are going on in the activities world. You know, like we talked about the transformational coach and the inside-out coaching, that we continue to educate our coaches to use those models to coach from. So I mean, just continued growth in those areas. And like I said, I feel I'm just doing my job. So I mean, it's hard for me to say that I've had a huge impact, I guess, but that's me.